talk about how to protect your city and how to deal with this situation. 3 major categories. Number 1, atonement and purification. Number 2, prayer and meditation. Number 3, the creation of a compelling future. Number 1, atonement and purification. We talked about this some when I was last year as well. In A Course in Miracles, it says, you pay a very high price for not taking 100% responsibility for your own experience. Because the price you pay for not taking responsibility is that then you can't change it. Somebody comes to me for counseling, and they say, well, you know, Marianne, 90% of it is their fault. I'd say, great, well, we're going to talk about the 10% that's not. I am not saying that the invasion of Iraq caused all of this mess. I am saying it caused most of it. It was my country, your country went along. Australia went along, Poland, and some others. Until we, who are citizens of the countries that invaded Iraq, allow ourselves the full horror, and I do mean the full horror of the recognition that more than any other factor created ISIL, then we will not go deep enough into the space of atonement where miracles occur. With all due respect, the 30 who died in Brussels, huh? Those who died in Paris, huh? How about the hundreds of thousands? Where were we when we were thinking about the men and the women and the children? And we say, well, those people in Brussels, they didn't do anything. Those people in Paris, they didn't do anything. Those people on the buses in London, they didn't do anything. No, they didn't. But neither did the men, the women, and the children of Baghdad do anything. Why did they pay? You could just as easily say, why did they pay for the sins of Saddam Hussein? Now, why does atonement matter? Atonement is a very, very powerful force. In Catholicism, atonement is, you do it as you go along with confession. In Judaism, it is the holiest day of the year is called Yom Kippur, which is the Day of the Atonement. In Alcoholics Anonymous, there's the taking of one's fearless moral inventory and the making of amends. There is no serious spiritual path that does not include this notion. Buddha was born about 500 years before Jesus. Buddha described how cause and effect works. There's an action, there's a reaction. Action, reaction. The message of Jesus, and of course, the atonement principle of the Jewish people predated the birth of Jesus, because he, of course, was a Jew, is the notion that basically in a moment of grace, the karma is burned. So atonement is a cosmic reset button. Atonement is where you say, I recognize that I caused this. I recognize it. I get it. I go there. You don't want to be, you know how there's more faux spirituality of, oh, we can't make a mistake. Who comes up with this stuff? Absolutely. No, the Holocaust was a mistake. Mistakes get made. But the mercy of God is so infinite that to the extent to which we are willing to go back to cause, now this is what the Course in Miracles says. You actually go back to that moment. You know how when these people say these days, you can't make a mistake, you can't make a mistake. First of all, that's ridiculous. Secondly, only sociopaths feel no remorse. Only sociopaths feel no remorse. Conscience is an aspect of the mind of spirit. The remorse, I remember in the United States, Robert McNamara was one of the main architects of the Vietnam War. And before he died, he got it. And he said in this film that the Vietnam War was all a terrible mistake. Now, if my country had been spiritually healthy, the whole country would have shut down for 3 days so that people could just wail and knock their heads into pillows. We don't even have a place to go with that. All the people who died, all the suffering. We don't have because our collective is ruled by such ego-based thinking, we don't even know where to go with that. Now, you're not going to get George Bush to atone. Now you have everyone from Hillary Clinton, who voted for the war, to Bernie Sanders, to even Donald Trump saying the war was a mistake. But in order for us to have a miracle, you have to go deeper than, oh, that was a mistake.